Welcome back, my friend. Let's know now the relationship between jinn and ancient Egyptian. One of the interesting features of scorpions and snakes is that they will only attack if they sense danger. If you are asleep or unconscious, they won't harm you. Even if a snake or scorpion walks across your naked body from head to toe, it will pass peacefully and calmly. Parents used to raise their children naked except for covering their private parts, and they would instruct them not to be afraid at all and not to make any movement. They were taught to control their breath and body movements to the minimum degree, to maintain absolute calmness, not to feel the slightest fear, and to let the snake or scorpion pass over their entire body. Those who pass all the tests are prepared to become successors to the priest in dealing with jinn. They learn their ways, incantations, agreements, and how to write contracts. There were priests who excelled in writing contracts with great skill. Each type of jinn has its own way of dealing with them. There are powerful jinn, like Marada and Ifrit, which require a special approach, unlike other weaker types of jinn. Writing contracts with them requires great skill, with loopholes in the contract that can be exploited by human intelligence when the trapped jinn discovers them and tries to escape and seek revenge. However, the jinn cannot do so because of the power of the contract written by the priest, which the jinn cannot comprehend at that time due to its limited intelligence and mind. Not all tombs have surveillance because there were kings who rejected this trick in their tombs for protection. Even those who accept it have different types of surveillance, with the most powerful being the surveillance of Marada and Ifrit. Unfortunately, it was forbidden in the ancient Egyptian belief system because one of its provisions was that the jinn would demand a human sacrifice, either for consent or for breaking the contract afterward. Killing was forbidden in ancient Egypt, but there were those who accepted it because good and evil coexist, and the soul can accept or reject. Therefore, there are tombs that can only be accessed by certain individuals. When someone enters, they learn from the jinn the provisions of the contract and the type of jinn present in the tomb. They read the jinn the provisions of the contract, and when the sorcerer realizes that the jinn's power is stronger than his, he withdraws from the situation without disclosing the reasons, but it is prevented by the power of the contract written between it and the priest. Therefore, it can only break the contract in a legal way that preserves the jinn's life afterwards. That's why many sorcerers refuse to enter into the contract themselves to free the jinn, and instead, they allow a designated sorcerer to enter the tomb and establish the contract. This is why tombs are heavily guarded and have very little surveillance, as they require a human blood sacrifice as one of their conditions. Now let's clarify who the priests are that interact with the jinn. Priests of Anubis. Has anyone asked who Anubis is? Anubis is the son of Osiris and the African golden jackal. He is one of the oldest creatures on earth from the early Egyptian dynasties. He was brought from Ethiopia, where his power and secret with the jinn were discovered. The jackal is the only animal that can see the jinn, prey on them, and kill them. The jinn fear the jackal greatly and flee from it. Anubis's power over the jinn is immense. Even if he doesn't kill them, he inflicts terrible wounds on them, and the jackal also consumes them as food. The ancient Egyptians called him the Devourer of Millions. He is not a dog, as commonly believed, but a jackal and one of the strongest types of jackals. The ancient Egyptians and the priests knew that Anubis provided them with significant and unique protection against the jinn. They made him the god of protection for the tombs, guarding the tomb and its owner from the surveillance jinn inside. This was his primary function, which no one understood, and they didn't grasp the ancient Egyptians' intention in deifying Anubis. This particular type is because archaeologists do not acknowledge the surveillance or understand how the priests interact with the jinn. Anubis is the conqueror of the jinn, regardless of their type or power. He is the guardian of the tomb and its owner from the imprisoned surveillance within. The jinn fear only his appearance in a terrifying way. Anubis is the only animal that the jinn fear, and he has the ability to see them and prey on them. Now you understand why the ancient Egyptians revered Anubis as the protector of the tombs, protection from the world of jinn, not humans. When the surveillance is strong within the tomb, Anubis is placed directly at its entrance. The jackal only appears with the priest when writing the contract to show itself to the jinn. This establishes complete control over the jinn, for them to listen and obey, and to protect the priest from the jinn's anger. The priests revered Anubis and always had him present during the burial process and the establishment of surveillance. However, he only appeared in the final stage after the contracts were written so that the jinn wouldn't fear him initially. After gaining control, Anubis appears with the priest by his side, visible to the jinn, who then fear and obey, establishing complete control for the priest over the surveillance. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos.